Welcome back, familia, to another episode of the Heated Debate Show. And I'm here with my main man, Tony Gooner Claude. How you doing, bro?
It's Tony Claude Gunner TV or Tony Claude.
The name's too long, man. You gotta shorten it.
Hey man, see guys, we're back on the Heated Debate again. It's me and my brother again, Northside LDN. You know, I got homies in London. Northside is part of those homies, man. It's just good to come to the show today and chop it up with my brother here. Northside, nice to see you, brother. How you doing?
Nice to see you too. Listen, bro. We got some positive rumors surrounding Arsenal. Obviously, all these stories, people, make sure you take it with a pinch of salt. We're going to go through a couple of them. We're going to get both of our opinions. And listen, it may turn out into a debate. It may not. And let's just get it straight. Let's get straight into it. Let's get started. Right. Arsenal board. Big fans of £113 million Arteta target at the Emirates. It goes on to say, Arsenal have been admirers of Atletico Madrid star Joao Felix for an extensive period, and the Emirates Stadium hierarchy are big fans, according to journalist Paul Brown. Now, I'm going to ask you first, bro, would you want Joao Felix at Arsenal come January? Yes or no? Or do you think there's better options?
See, Northside, we are going for a goddamn title. We are going for a goddamn title. We need everyone. We need anyone, anything we can get in that market. But again, we need to get in the people, the right people. That's what we need. Mind you, I was hearing of Vlahovic, and now I'm also hearing of Joao Felix. So let's go into Joao Felix. Portuguese, he's done his thing in the Spanish La Liga. Of course, Atletico Madrid. He's honed his skills with a great coach, and of course, I like his positional play. I like his awareness within the 18-yard box. He's that kind of player that knows how to hold up play and bring other people, wide forwards, midfielders alike, to come in and get the ball. But again, there's one problem to his game. He doesn't have enough stamina. He falls most of the time. He falls most of the time. I don't really dig players that, get to the ground all the time, unless you're getting a penalty, for your team, then that's good. But if you're just being touched a little bit and you get on your knees, I have a problem with such players. But again, he's that kind of player that can hold up play, something different from Gabriel Jesus, because we need a different option. Gabriel Jesus gives us this option like, come from the wings, cut in at times, and sometimes he could dribble. Felix is not a dribbling kind of wide forward or forward. Mind you, Felix can play both as a wide forward, as a supporting nine, and even as a number 9 striker. So he's very, very kind of like multitasking. He's that kind of player that can do everything for you around that striker positions, wide forward, anything. I really do like it. I want him to come. If this is true, I want him to come. But again, I have doubts over his price. I feel Atletico Madrid will want to milk anyone that nears him down there in Atletico Madrid in the transfer window. And mind you, are you sure the player will be willing to come in a January transfer window?
Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, Joao Felix, listen, when he was back at Benfica, they obviously, Atletico Madrid got him from Benfica for what? Around about 100 million euros? So
about 100 million euros.
Pardon?
I said for about 100 million, above 100 million actually, with additionals on top of it.
Well, there you go. 100 or thereabouts. 100 or thereabouts. Let's say 120. Let's say 120. Transfer market has got him valued at 70 million euros. We already know that Atleti is going to want to recoup as much, close enough to the price tag that they spent on him back. Yeah. It's only makes sense. He's still young. He's a player that, he's not playing amazing. I always thought that his move from Atleti to from Benfica to Atleti didn't really make sense. I felt like he was a player that needs to express himself, would suit more of like a Barcelona style, more like a Man City style of football. I didn't like, because Atleti are more of a counter-attacking team, which means that you don't really see the best of Joao Felix. And I feel like he's somebody that he needs to play attacking style football, kind of like Gabriel Jesus. I think he's got a lot of similar attributes. Now, where I don't like Joao Felix is I find him too lightweight, even for La Liga. And seeing that he's too lightweight for La Liga and he hasn't bulked up, his body, he still looks like he's about 18, 19, you know what I mean? And the boy, how old is Joao Felix? What is he now? He's 22. Do you know what I mean? I'm expecting him to bulk up a little bit. And if he can't hack the physicality of La Liga, that doesn't fill me with a lot of optimism.
Confidence, optimism. That
he's going to be able to do it against physical sides in the Premier League. And that's a worry. And not only is the Premier League physical, it's also fast as well. It's fast-paced football. The thing is with Joao Felix, when you're looking at the price tag, yes, the age, yes, the fact that he's Portuguese, obviously, you know what I mean? We only want to sign Portuguese speakers ever since Edu's been here. Yes, he fits that. But at the same time, when you're looking at his output at Atleti, it hasn't been that great. This season, he's had 9 appearances, only 3 assists. Now, for somebody that you're going to have to pay at least upwards of 80 million euros up, you're expecting a better output. I think we can all agree with that. And
of course, we can agree with that.
Money, you can half that money, go in for Ivan Toney, and there you go. You can even go in for Nkunku. I don't know if the Nkunku deal is absolutely complete.
No. The Nkunku deal is totally off because Chelsea have already signed him. He has actually even done his medicals, his pre-medicals in Chelsea Football Club. Okay. It's sealed done.
Okay, fair enough. You can't go for him. Okay, you can't go for him, but you can still go for Ivan Toney. You can also go for Rafael Leao, which is another Portuguese striker that's had a great season and is looking very good. I think he's 23, 24. And, obviously he done very well for AC Milan, doing very well. I saw a documentary about him 2 or 3 days ago and how Ibrahimovic has been training him, changed his mentality. And that he obviously spearheaded AC Milan to win in the league. He's got very good stats. He can also play as a number 9, technically very good. So he can fit that Gabriel Jesus mold. Now, he's probably going to be valued roughly around the same price tag as Joao Felix. But at the same time, you've got a player that's more physical, bigger in stature, and seems like he can deal with the physicality of the game. Because it's all good getting a Joao Felix, and it's all good if he's technically good, but I don't really see, one, his output's gone down. Maybe I can give him the benefit of the doubt and say he just doesn't fit the system at Atletico Madrid. It doesn't really help him. But I think there's other options that you can spend less money or thereabouts and get back better results from players. Like I said, Rafael Leao, Ivan Toney, even a Mitrovic. And some people may put their nose up at Mitrovic because he's at Fulham. But I'll tell you what, you sometimes need different tools in your bag. You know what I mean? Not everyone has to be a Jesus style. When Jesus is being nullified, for example, if Jesus, he likes it. He likes the ball to his feet. He likes to be bringing in wingers. If that's not working, why not bring in Mitrovic? Because if you spam a load of crosses into the box, Mitrovic most times than not is going to put it in the back of the net, and you need that sometimes.
Anyway, the thing about Felix, is that his hold up play is very, very good. And he's also very, very good in air balls. Joao Felix is tall, he's 6 foot plus. He can head the ball into the net. But one thing that makes him a very, very deadly player to have around your 18-yard box is his positional awareness. What do I mean by that? His assist rate. If you check, is at most of his time at Atletico Madrid, is averaged up to at least more than 10 assists almost every season. That's what he brings to you. So he might not really be the one to actually get those goals. And for us to actually evaluate him based on the amount of goals he has scored in Atletico, to be quite unfair, because over the years, they've had people like Suarez, Diego Costa, who are the poster boys of the team. And of course, he had been moved a little bit backwards from the striker to be playing that support striker role. So at the same time, we cannot actually get his total numbers if we're looking at it in that way. He is always this player that has played second fiddle to big time players. But again, Felix has what I call, he has that star power in terms of that name that could be able to send shivers to defenders, because Premier League defenders, they don't really give a damn about you. But when they know you come with a reputation, they actually fear to play you. I need those kind of strikers that could just come in, that have that star power behind them, like a Vlahovic. That name, it creates, legitimate fear. When defenders hear him and you're starting shit. And I think that's what Joao Felix brings to the table. Can hold up play. He has that star power name. Coming into a new league, he would want to, give us one or two quick goals or quick assists. So it's not still bad to have him either way, but it's just too expensive because Atletico will be demanding top dollar for their player.
I mean, the top dollar that they want, when you're looking at his record at Atleti, it's not that great, bro. I think last season he had 26 appearances and 9 goals and 4 assists. The season before that, he had 31 appearances, 7 goals and 6 assists. That's not great, bro. That is worse output than Lacazette. And even we deem Lacazette not good enough. Maybe the only benefit of the doubt that I will give him is that they don't play to his strengths. They don't play attacking football.
They don't play to his strengths, exactly. And he's not even the main number 9. He's not the number 9.
No, but if he comes to Arsenal, I mean, I get what you're saying about Suarez, but if he comes to Arsenal, he once again, he's in a team where he's not the main guy. He's not a nailed-on starter. And if he's not dealing with that well at Atleti, what is he going to do at Arsenal? Those are the things we need to think of.
Exactly. And again, his pressing play isn't even something to be desired, because us in Arsenal right now, we need pressing, like high pressing wide forwards, high pressing strikers right now. If you're not pressing, I don't want you in that club. Same thing that Bamford can be able to give to you. Same thing that Ivan Toney can give to you. But why doesn't the club go for Ivan Toney? We need someone like Ivan Toney.
Bro. I don't get it. I don't get it.
We need someone like Ivan Toney. He's the one to solve our striker problems.
I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. But at the end of the day, bro, like, we can't put all our eggs in Gabriel's basket. He's a great player. But we've seen even in the Europa League, just being on Nketiah, it's not good enough.
It's not good enough at all. It's not good enough.
This is group stages. I mean, how is Nketiah going to perform if, teams like Barca drop down, teams like Juve drop down, all these teams drop down for the Champions League.
All these big teams drop down, to be a genuine problem for us.
He's not filling himself with glory. But I mean, Arsenal Manic is saying this would be a statement signing, top-notch player. Fair enough. That's your opinion. Tony is here to make your blood pressure rise. But this guy, listen, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I can't believe the first.
Arsenal Manic, my guy. Arsenal Manic. See, you guys here, click on that subscription area on Northside's area there on YouTube and press the likes. It's for free. Press those like button. Press. And let the super chats come on, the super chats. Where are they at, man? You guys should, push up our likes, man. We're making history here. It's the second episode of Heated Debates. Come on, guys.
You guys better get ready because there's some good news out here. And I'm telling you right now, me and him are going to be debating. I can already tell.
We'll definitely will.
Don't go to Atletico Madrid if you're a young player. He's not coming. Arsenal don't go the extra mile when in a good position. It's BS. Well, listen, we will see. We will see. And even somebody like Tony Claude that, I think is, I mean, a lot of people would look at you as a positive fan and somebody that looks at the brighter side and the positive side of everything.
Yeah, I do. I won't lie, I do.
Even you will say, if we don't do what we need to do in January with the great start that we've had to the season, the best start we've ever had to the league season.
We have to go into that market.
Do they really trust this manager? Do they really believe in their manager? It is what it is. Big up Northside and Tony Claude Gunner TV. Big up, bro. Make sure you like
it. Big up, Amy Baba. Yeah.
Link is in the description. You are on point, Northside, with Felix. Rafael Leao is great Anthony right about his assist rate. This is what I'm saying. I think there's better options, especially when you're spending big money. You got to get the best of that bunch, of that price tag. And right now, Joao Felix isn't really that guy. I mean, if he was still at Benfica, then I could understand taking the time.
I agree. I see where you're coming from. And again, I'm not just so okay with his pace. You know, I really like wide forwards or forwards that have pace. Because when you have pace, even if you're not getting chunking out the goals from anywhere, you're causing problems for defenders and you're creating spaces for other fast-paced players to be able to nick those goals in. So, you know, he's tall, he's okay, he's a little bit bulky, static. No, I really want a more pacier person. Unless you're a Mitrovic that I know, okay, you can make use of your head very, very well and getting those goals and you don't have much pace, that can compensate for your pace. When you're someone that uses your head very well, you can out-muscle players and bully defenders. It's quite okay. But if you don't have pace and you're not churning out the amount of goals that could actually win your team the league title, I don't really see any need of us bringing him. So for me, it's a 6/10, 5/10, just because of his star name and his ability to bring in players and assist. I can say,
Felix would be a great signing. He can play cam, left, right, second striker, and up front on his own. He's got mad techers. I mean, playing right behind the striker, I mean, Odegaard is supposed to be our captain. Do we see Odegaard getting benched to make way for Joao Felix?
And that's not side. That's a very, very genuine problem that we have, because I'm also thinking, like, there's some times, you know, when I'm watching the Arsenal game and Odegaard isn't really putting up a very, very big shift at times. Sometimes I just say, okay, how can Mikel Arteta remove Odegaard when Odegaard is your captain? I feel there's this mental block with Mikel Arteta when it comes to Odegaard, because Odegaard is meant to be your captain, is meant to be that guy, right? So if it's meant to be that guy and he's having a bad day in the office, what do? Do you remove your captain and put him in the bench? And if you actually replace your captain and put him in, on the bench, what does that say of your team, a captainless team? At least the last time we saw that with our rivals, it was Harry Maguire, and of course, you know where that guy is with the toilet right now.
Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Listen, look, we're gonna move on now to the next headline, and listen. The next headline reads: Clubs target Arsenal sporting director Edu Gaspar. Now, for me, get this bum out. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's been great as a sporting director. I think this guy was awful at his first signing players that were washed, like Willian, David Luiz, players like that. You know, he came in at 2019. I think it was around May time, the end of the season. So I'm not going to give him blame at 2019 transfers. But when you're looking at his transfers, when you're looking at Edu's transfers from 2021 season, we bought in Thomas Partey, great buy. Gabriel ain't looking that great. Pablo Mari weren't good enough. Odegaard ain't good enough. Runnison ain't good enough. Willian ain't good enough. Cedric ain't good enough. Matthew Ryan, the goalkeeper.
William.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not, there's one or two that's okay, but the rest of them weren't good enough. Most of them ain't good enough. Runnison was never going to be our main goalkeeper. Neither was, man like Ryan. Cedric is so average that we got centre backs playing as right back over him. Yeah, that's how average he is. Willian wasn't good enough. He terminated his contract. He didn't want to be part of Project Youth. Odegaard ain't all that, and you rarely ever see Real Madrid let go of players in their prime. Let them go. You know, they even got Modric and Benzema, and look at how they keep them. When they get rid of you, we already saw with Ceballos, he wasn't good enough. That's why they let him go. So when you're seeing that kind of stuff there, I'm thinking, Edu, have you really done what's necessary? You were part of the background staff that at January, okayed us getting rid of 6 players and getting in 0 players and telling us you don't want to panic buy. And then this season, you tell us that all the months leading up to transfer windows, you guys are scouting players, really. So how come there was not even one player that we could have bought in January to make us get top 4. And this season would be in Champions League. Then we go into the summer because apparently we had a clear plan. You remember when all of them coming out with this same idea about clear plan? What was a clear plan in the summer? Get Jesus in, get Zinchenko, and that will shut up all the fans, yeah? And then as the season carries on, we'll then see, we already saw very early on, the deficiencies of this squad. The fact that we don't have rotation. The fact that the midfield was never tackled. The fact that we should have got a proper right back. Yes, Ben White was doing okay, but he got exposed against Leeds. He's not a right back. He's not a right back. And he shouldn't be expected to play out of position. We should have a clear plan as to getting a right back that is good enough. Otherwise, why did we get Cedric if he's deemed not good enough and the centre-back is playing ahead of him? It's not good enough. It's not. We got Tavares. Yeah? We got Tavares. I remember last season we were playing Xhaka at left-back. So why did you get Tavares in if months on, we can already think that this guy ain't good enough? We can already see that Lokonga isn't good enough. And whether they become those players, we will see. But at this moment, they're not good enough. I thought we got rid of Guendouzi because he wasn't good enough and he was too young. Well, why are we bringing in more young players that months?
Not that Guendouzi was too young, my brother.
So why did we get rid of him?
Guendouzi seriously had issues. He had issues, attitudinal issues, and seriously, we don't need that kind of smoke, in that team. He had attitudinal problems.
What was his attitude? Because he wants to win. Well, we had someone like Bellerin that was here for how many seasons?
Wants to win. No, he didn't want to win. He didn't want to win. We never won a trophy with him. No, we never won. No. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. He did not win any trophy with us.
They weren't nice people, bro. They won. Did you see the fights between Vieira and Roy Keane? They wanted to win. I want to see that desire at the club. Yes, he was a little bit cocky. I think it was in the Brighton match where Guendouzi got a bit cocky. But I like to see that firepower. We used to have it with the Invincibles. Every winning team has that. The great Man United teams had that. The great Juventus teams have that.
But you can't compare Guendouzi to a Roy Keane.
Nah, bro. Get
compare Guendouzi to a Roy Keane.
Get him some new Havanas and get that Filo Puta out of the club, bro. He is shit as a sporting director. Get him out, bro.
Okay, wait. Let's look at the specifics of this North side. I'm not an Edu guy. Everyone here knows me. I'm an Arteta guy. But I'm not an Edu guy because everyone that criticizes Mikel Arteta seems to bring in Edu into the picture. And him and Edu, they don't have the same job description. It's Edu's job to do recruitment. Let's even look back at Gabriel Jesus, who came in, and Zinchenko. Let's make this clear. Those are Arteta signings. Without Arteta, those guys would not come into the club. Let's just get that out of the way. So it is Mikel Arteta that signed those people for us. And it doesn't concern anything with Edu. Now, let's check his antecedents. What has he done? Edu has been able to bring us Willian from Chelsea, Lewis from Chelsea, Czech from Chelsea. All these garbage players, that's his legacy at Arsenal. Of course, he did bring in McQueeners, was young, okay, might not be good enough now, but he might pay off in the future. But those are future players, He brought in, I think, was he responsible for Martinelli?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think
he bought Martinelli.
I don't think
Emery signing. I think that was Mislintat and Unai Emery.
And Unai Emery, yeah, I think so. So, if you check his record, it's a checkered record. Personally, Edu hasn't really done enough. And again, Edu messed up this last transfer window. This Arsenal team should have been very, very complete. But this guy went to the transfer window, brought in only Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, and it was just over. No.
Okay, so you know what? I got something to say because the words of Edu and Arteta, yeah? Before the season started, they were doing hella rare press conferences, interviews. Both of them in their own words, and I remember this, yeah? When people want to pick and choose, when great signings are Arteta's and bad signings are Edu's. Both of them came out and say they work as a team. They, as a collective, decide the players that come in that come into the club. So that means they take blame for the good signings and the bad signings. And they've repeated this in numerous cases. Even Arteta came out and said, it's not about Arteta getting players and not about Edu. We do it as a collective. So if you not do it as a collective, why are we getting Trusty and loaning them straight out to Birmingham? How come Davaj ain't good enough? How come Lokonga ain't good enough? How come you're buying Cedric and Ben White is getting in over him as a fullback? Yeah. Why is these things happening? It is not good enough. Why did we buy that goalkeeper Ryan? Why did we buy Runnison? Why did we buy Pablo Marie? Why did we get David Luiz? Why did we get Willian? This is what I'm talking about.
But again, I want you to keep Mikel Arteta out of this. He's not your recruiter. He's not your recruiter. And if people come
you can't tell me if a man says we do it as a collective, you can't undo what he says. He's come out.
But Wenger did all that. Wenger did all that. Many other coaches did all that. They did collective. When you're talking about collective,
when Wenger got Sanogo, Wenger got blamed. Because when you're buying players like Sanogo and Shamak, yeah, and Senderos, I'm coming for your head because they're not good enough. So Arteta, the same thing. You can't have it both ways. You can't say when we bring in some play, either Arteta is head of recruitment or in the recruitment or he's not.
Arteta is your manager.
You can't say Arteta's got nothing to do with transfers, but when we buy players that work, Arteta bought in a good player. And then when we buy a player that we can all see ain't good enough, it's Edu. Either he's involved or he's not. Both of them have confirmed on numerous occasions they're both involved in getting players.
Okay, then let me educate you about the collective approach that he's talking about. The collective approach he's talking about is that he identifies players and Edu brings them in. That's it. So he gives a list to Edu, and Edu will now have to look at that list and check our finances and see if we could go for those players. So in other words, if Mikel Arteta say, hey, go and get me a Vlahovic now, and Edu says, okay, let's look at our books. Hey, Mikel Arteta, we cannot get you a Vlahovic. It's his fault. It's Edu's fault, not Mikel Arteta, because they cannot get us those players. It isn't Mikel Arteta. He's not doing recruitment.
You just said Mikel Arteta identifies the players and brings it to him. Yeah? Of course, let's be real. Clubs for each position have 3 or 4 players. So if you can't get the main target, which you're not always going to, because other clubs are interested in players as well, there's other clubs on the list. Why was Trusty on the list of centre-backs? Even if he wasn't number 1 choice, why is he on that list? Why is Runnison on the list as a goalkeeper when he's never good enough? Why is Davaj on that list? Why is Lokonga on that list?
Mind you, when Leno left the club, see, not side. Huh? When Leno left the club, what was his parting shot to Arsenal? He said Arsenal is filled with what? Politics. Now, Trusty, mind you, is an American. That guy is an American. He's just there to just appease the gods, the cronkies. This is the problem. Not side. It's not your coach. It's not your coach. Okay,
let's take it away from Arteta because we see Arteta differently. Obviously, I'm going off of what they're saying and what I can see. And
yeah, I get you.
They have both confirmed they both are the ones that are in the process of getting players in, scouting players and bringing them in. So if you're both involved, you both get the blame. You both get the blame. It's not we're going to be deciding who gets the blame when it works and when it doesn't. You're both part of it. When it works, you get praised. When they got Jesus, I praise both of them. When they got Zinchenko, I praise both of them. But when you're bringing in Runnissons and Davaj and Ben Whites and that, I'm gonna start slagging you off because he ain't good enough. This is Arsenal Football Club.
So as a coach, so now you're telling me now as a coach,
are you happy with Edu? Are you happy as a sporting director?
So wait. So as a coach, you think Mikel Arteta would say, "Bring me Runnison"? No, let's face facts.
His own words said that he's part of the.
So he will demand for Runnison. Do you think so in your mind? No,
yes,
let's be fair. No, let's be very fair. So do you think Arteta would ask for Runnison? Let's be very fair. No, yes. The answer is no. Yes. He will not ask for all those guys.
Okay. So why would he come out in an interview?
It's Edu signing those players. That's why I want Edu to go.
Answer me the question. Why would he? If he's not part of it, why would he come out in interviews numerous times and say that we scout players and bring
because
players
you have to keep a collective team.
That's
how clubs are run everywhere.
No, he doesn't. No, he
That's how
doesn't.
clubs are run. You have to
No,
put
he
a
doesn't.
collective
He can say,
face
I'm a coach.
sometimes.
I coach the team, and we got a scouting department which are doing a very good job. He could say it like that. He doesn't have to say that.
But there was a time in the dailies, I think this was last year, when they said that Arteta could actually walk out of Arsenal because he's having disagreements with Edu and the board in terms of players to bring in. This happened last year. So internally, he's having problems with the board because of the players. To God who
Okay,
made me, to God
are
who
you
made
happy
me, do
with
you
Edu?
think you would have brought in Runnison in your team? No. As a coach, you won't go there. You need
Listen, this man has
competitive
done a lot
players.
of things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't have got rid of Aubameyang without having a backup. I wouldn't have got rid of Guendouzi if you're going to bring in Lokonga. I wouldn't have done those kind of moves there. I wouldn't have got rid of Pepe if you're not going to bring in another winger. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do.
See,
So
but
when you're
we
asking
need
me,
to cut our losses.
I wouldn't
We
have,
need to
hold on,
cut
you're asking
our
me a question.
losses.
Hold on. I wouldn't put Nketiah as our second striker because I already knew he ain't good enough. I wouldn't be, re-signing El Nini to an extended contract when he's been here, 6-7 years, and have never seen him as a main player or a player that's good enough. I wouldn't do that. So when you're asking me what would I do, a lot of these things I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go get a Tavares that majority of Benfica fans were happy to see the back off and bring into us. I wouldn't. So you're asking me, would I do that? I wouldn't. What I'm saying to you is, so we can close this up because we're not going to really see eye to eye on this. I think it's a joint collective, and that's what they said. And they get blame, they get props when they get the transfers right, and they get criticism when they get it wrong. And I think they've got it wrong more times than they got it right. Are you happy with Edu? And would you be upset if the rumors are to be believed and top big clubs want him to come to their club as a sporting director?
See, Edu has done a very, very, very bad job in Arsenal. For me, for me, he is the one that has given this manager, because see, we're on the verge of winning a title right now, and we don't have a backup central defender, central midfield defender, CDM, for backup for Thomas Partey. We don't have that. We need a different centre back. We don't have that. We need an extra striker. We don't have that. It's not Mikel Arteta's job to bring in these guys. It's Edu's job. And for me,
Okay, so
Edu has failed in his job.
Are you
So
happy
he
with
has to
Edu?
go.
Okay, cool.
Edu has to
Okay,
leave. He
let's
has
say
to
that
leave
that's
the club.
true. Are you happy with Edu? Are you happy with it?
I'm not happy with Edu. He has to leave the club.
Okay.
No matter what European club is coming for him, Edu, you can leave. You can leave. I need more hungry sporting directors, very, very hungry, that will go into the transfer market and do the transfer dealings that the coach wants. I really do believe that Mikel Arteta demanded for more better players, and is getting Runnison. But on not side, why would you disbelieve this? This is a club that went and brought Mustafi, a dead player. Koscielny, dead players. Huh? How can we win the league with these players? It's not possible.
It is what it is. Listen, let's agree to disagree. On to the next headline.
I think Northside just left the show. I think he will be coming back, but I'll just take it up from here. So see, everything is not just about about Arteta. Guy, you left the show. I was holding it down for you. I think you mistakenly logged off. But I was holding it down before you came back, so it's okay.
Listen, love for that. Listen, Arsenal legend disagrees with Arsene Wenger on Premier League title changes. Let's get into this. Gilberto Silva has come out and spoken. There is no completely dominating team this season, and Arsenal has a chance with the potential that is there, said Arsene Wenger. We used to be on top four, and why not again? You cannot even roll out the fact that they can fight for the title, and hopefully they can do that. That was a quote from Arsene Wenger. Gilberto Silva said, I think it's a bit early to say that they are title challengers, but they are in a good situation. I think it is important to compare the last few seasons at this stage when they were in a very different situation. The table as it stands looks very nice, and I hope they can keep it that way. The next couple of weeks will be crucial for them until the break and the World Cup. I think it is important to keep this good run at least until they stop for the World Cup and try to make sure they remain in first position. If they can keep the distance between Man City, that will be fantastic. because we know City are a very good team, despite the fact that they lost against another big team in Liverpool. They can be very dangerous for the remainder of the season. But it is important for Arsenal to continue at the top because they come back for the second round of the competition is not going to be easy. Maintaining a lead in this league is not easy. What do you make of Gilberto Silva's take on Arsenal?
See, yeah, instead of all these past legends to actually put hands together and support the club, they're talking all these jargons in the media. What is this guy talking about? Gilberto Silva, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What, you saying it's too early to say
Arsenal
that
is
we've
on
got
the
the wrong
verge.
thing?
Arsenal is on the verge for actually going for a title this season. This manager has just broken a record, of which we will go into it later on. It's just broken a record that even the Invincibles team didn't even get. Let that sink in like caffeine in your body. Like, he has just broken a 136-year record in the club, and you cannot just put your hands together and just support this team. Like, what is wrong with this legend? Okay, Martin Nome came out 2 weeks ago and said that this team reminds him of the Invincibles team. What will you say to that, not side? That's also a
Well,
legitimate Invincible talking.
I'll say this: Gilberto Silva knows what it takes to win a league title, and if he's saying it's too early to call us title challengers, then that's his opinion. He knows what he's been there. He's done it. At the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say. I think it's too early because it's way too early in the season. Way too early to make predictions. Have we started very well? Yes. Are we top of the league? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I believe that we can sustain this? I don't really think we can sustain this if we do not add to this squad because the squad is extremely thin.
I share that idea with you. We should add in January. Yeah, I share that with you.
Thin. And when you're looking at when we're making substitutions, unless we're substituting on starting 11 players that weren't starting the match, they're not impacting the game. And we saw it against Leeds. When we brought in Nketiah, when we brought on Fabio Vieira, when we brought on Rob Holding, they're not impacting the game. So I do think it's too early because we don't have the squad. Yeah? Now, at the end of the day, one thing I don't understand with Arsenal fan police is what difference does it make if somebody doesn't believe that we can sustain this? That doesn't stop the club going out there and putting out a performance. We signed Fabio Vieira. I don't think he's all that. He scored a goal. He scored a goal a couple of games ago. So my opinion,
he scored 2 goals. Give him a chance, bro.
Performing. And also, it doesn't stop you from believing in this team. If you believe in this squad, if you believe in Arteta, then you can believe in him. My opinion doesn't change anything. It doesn't stop us playing players that I don't like. It doesn't stop what the manager wants to do. It doesn't stop the players performing and ultimately shutting me up. You know what I mean? Ultimately, I've called this season at the start of the season the shut me up campaign. Do what's necessary and I will shut up. And at the end of the season, keep this up, we'll win the league and I will apologize.
But he's been doing it for like about 13 games. He's been doing it this season, bruv. This season, I know, but this season, if this guy lost 7, you would have absolutely roasted this coach. Let's be frank about this. If this guy came in this season and lost 7 games in 13 games, not side, we know what you're going to do. You would savagely rip this guy apart, tear him to shreds, tear down the club, tear down Mikel Arteta as a coach and as a human being, and just mop him around the floor. You know that's what you're going to do. But right now, he's come in and put shame in your faces. He's got not side. Let's be very, very frank. This is a 136-year record this dude has broken in the club. We've had 13 games this season in all, including Europa League games, and we've won 12. And the people, I brought you on my show, not side, because you've just reopened an old wound right now, and it's open, and we can go on a free-for-all slugfest right here. I invited you to a show with MC Daps, and you threw me under the bus down there when I was saying that I would not bow down and kiss the ring of Manchester City. Now, who's the donkey now? In the words of Derek Chisora, who's the donkey now? Who's the donkey now? See, listen, not side. Listen, not side. The reality of all this is that we're 27 points ahead in the Premiership title. Manchester City, who everyone has given the league in as early as 7 games this season, is trailing us with 4, like it's literally trailing us by 4 points, not side.
Yeah.
And mind you, these are the guys that you've given them an A1 in bringing Ellie Haaland and other guys that they got with their oil money. Arsenal doesn't have that kind of money, although we ought to do better. Don't get me wrong, we ought to do better in our transfer window dealings. But hey, these guys were all the old guys that you were praising, that they brought in players, praising, kissing their ass and licking their lips. And these are the same guys that are trailing us second after 10 games. Come on, man. Give us some props. Cut us some slack. What are we saying here? Not side. If Mikel Arteta lost even 3 games this season, you would have torn him apart. And you know it. You know it's true. Not side. You know that. You know it's true. You would have torn him apart, left him for dead, mop him around the floor, and of course, your subscribers will clap for you because, of course, it's true. They will clap for you. But let's just see. Let's come together. We're in a goddamn title charge right now. Manchester City, everyone have given the title to.
Let me just say this. At the end of the day, I've seen this club go. I think under Unai Emery, we went almost 20 games unbeaten. I've seen us come second. The season that Leicester won the league. I've seen a lot of good runs by Arsenal before. What I'm saying is keep it up. Yeah, because ultimately, if our form drops off of a cliff, we're not even halfway through the season, then what does it really mean? Last season was on track to get in top 4. We didn't do what we needed to do in the transfer window, and our form dropped off. So what I'm saying is this, yeah, before a lot of Arsenal fan police start coming at me and saying this and that, well, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is we need to keep it up, and then the club needs to show backing towards this manager, because if you don't, it will fall apart.
I agree.
It fell apart last season when we were on good form to get top 4. It fell apart. And at the time, I was getting criticised because why are you telling the club that we need to sign people? You're being negative. Enjoy. We're winning. This, and that. And what happened in the end? So listen, I don't mind biding my time. Yeah. At the end of the day, my eyes see what my eyes see. Certain players in this squad ain't good enough. And when we're having to count on them due to injuries, suspensions, lack of form of starting 11 players, it ain't good enough. So until this club goes out there and does what's necessary in the transfer window, which I've not seen for the last 19, 20 years, Arsenal go out in the transfer window and actually address the things that we actually need, then maybe my perception will change. But even you're hoping and praying in January we do what's necessary. You're hoping. Because you have not seen the transfer window where we've gone and got what is needed. Every time we needed a centre-back, yeah, even under Arsene Wenger, every time we needed a centre-back, we wouldn't go get it. When we needed a DM, we didn't get it. How long were we screaming as Arsenal fans that we needed somebody to do the Patrick Vieira role? When we needed a striker, we wouldn't get it. We'd go get a budget one. Do you know what I'm saying? When we need it. So at the end of the day, my perception of the club is only built by the club's actions. If they change their actions, my perception will change. So at the end of the day, if you want to change my mind,
but not side. It's not fair the way you're doing this. Saliba came in to this team. He came into this team.
So what? Is Saliba the only thing we needed?
I'm just saying that when you're saying that we did not, get a centre back, this is that. But Saliba came. It changed the whole dynamic.
No, what did they say to us? Not Northside said it. They said it. We got a summer plan. They said it. I didn't say it. They come out. These fools that puta always come out with these statements and they don't live up to it. So many statements that can come out. They said we won't let contracts run down. We've let contracts run down. Look at Aubameyang. They said in the summer we got a clear plan, which is why we're not going to go in for players in January. If they said last season, oh, January is too expensive to buy players. Do you think they're not going to run the same excuse this January? What's the difference? It's the January transfer window, different year, still January. I've seen this club say,
at least this is a
so
start.
many
We
things,
know where the problem is coming from.
and
It's
they
from the
don't live
board.
up to
So
it.
let's
when I
direct that
call them
problem
out,
to the board,
I'm
and it's
sorry,
not Mikel
when I call the
Arteta.
club out, I'm calling them out on promises that they've made to us, the fans. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's what all fans should do. Because when they're allowed to make promises, and the fans are more concerned coming for fans like me, as if I was the one that put the statements out, as if I'm the sporting director, as if I'm the manager, then this club will be held to account. Instead, fans like yourself and other fans want to put fans like me, yeah, you want to hold me responsible. Why don't you hold the Cronkies responsible? Why don't you hold Edu responsible?
But that's what you meant to do. That's what you meant to do. You meant to hold the board accountable, not the manager. See, not side. Let me explain something for you. Let me explain something to you. Even if you sack Mikel Arteta right now, if you sack that manager right now, this club won't go anywhere, to be very sincere with you. Because the problem is not with the coach. The problem is with the board. Now, you're judging Mikel Arteta by his 3 seasons, right? Now, just in God's name, just tell me the truth. Do you think you could have won a title when you came into a club where Mustafi is heading our back line? No. In all honesty, tell me the truth. Or a saboteur like Konsheni, or below average Lacazette. Tell me how you can win a league title with that team. Tell me how you can qualify for Champions League with that title. It's quite unfair for all of us to blame this coach for all these inconsistencies. Is it his problem that that they gave Mesut Ozil an overblown contract? It's just like plying someone with drugs. It's the same thing. Ply this guy with alcohol in terms of giving him a large contract. Was that the fault of Mikel Arteta? Giving Aubameyang an overblown contract, and the guy became fat. He couldn't even play again. He couldn't even score again. His attitude became stinky, and he couldn't just play. Instead, they wanted to cause problems in the heart of our dressing room. And this is the guy you want to come and continue to be our captain and destroy what we have right now. Do you think if Aubameyang was there, see, in Aubameyang's last 7 games, he didn't even score up to 1 goal. In his last 7 games for Arsenal. Is that the striker that you want? Because you're someone that pride yourself in standards and living the dream in terms of standards of Arsenal Football Club. Is that the standard you want from your captain? Turning up late, is that the standard you want for your captain? Getting tattoos instead of coming to the North London Derby. Is that the kind of attitude you want from your players North side? Is that it? Why put all this blame in Arteta? And right now he's blowing it up all on your faces. He's used the guys that he's been able to get us to the top of the league, 27 points. And the guys you've been giving the clubs people have been giving blowjobs to, like Manchester City and Liverpool, are all faltering everywhere.
The chat is making me laugh.
And now everyone's trying to come back. Everyone is trying to come back.
The chat is making me laugh.
See, there's an ultimatum. There's an ultimatum for all these fans. There's an ultimatum for all these fans that are doubting the team now. I will give you the chance because all of us are all gooners. We've had breaks before. I give you guys until 20 league games. If you guys don't put your hands together and support this manager, don't take the wins. You have no share in the wins of the club. Don't come and jubilate as if you supported the club. I'm serious. Okay, cool. If you want to get behind the team, get behind the team right now. Support the team right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then don't say at the end of the season, don't start saying everything that I said before the season started. Because what happens is fans that feel like yourself, when the season ends, oh yeah, you know what? The club didn't do what they needed to do in January. Oh yeah, you know what? The squad was too light. Yo, you know what? We were top of the league, but it was naive. We didn't have the players. The certain play, even certain starting 11 players weren't good enough. You know what? We didn't do what was necessary in January. What was necessary in the summer transfer window. The thing is, yeah, is
Big ups,
this.
Varel
At the
Owens.
end of the
Big ups
day,
to you, bro. Big
a
ups,
lot of
Varel
people getting
Owens. Thank you very much.
a lot of people getting triggered. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people want from me. You know what I'm saying? Like when Arsenal been winning, and Tony, you know this. Yeah, I've praised for the mentality. I've praised for the
True,
fact
true.
that
I admit,
they're at the top of
I
the
admit
league.
you praise. Yeah, I admit that.
I've
You
praised
praise the
for the
team when they
win.
do well. I know that.
I've praised, but I've also said when I'm taking my Arsenal hat off and looking at it, the only problem why we can't sustain this, the main problem is the squad. And anyone that's looking at it, that looks at it objectively, will agree with me. Now, I don't know what people want. At the end of the day, I'm always looking to improve. And that's how you stay on top. The fact that we dropped off after being invincible is because we stopped criticizing. It was all of a sudden Arsenal became a club where it's easy to relax. Let's not criticize, let's not do nothing. It's okay, we can drop off. I want to keep the standards high. And that's how you stay at the top. Real Madrid don't drop their standards. Players may turn, they may change, they may go in cycles, but the standards are always there. That's how you stay at the top. I don't want Arsenal to drop off and have another 18 years. So that's why I keep the standards high. Listen, if that offends certain people, I don't even understand why you're an Arsenal fan. Because if you're a fan of a club, surely you want the best for it. Yeah? So it is what it is. Whether it's with this manager or not with this manager, the club don't start and stop.
Let the league table do the talking. Not side.
I will, because it's still very early.
Let the table do the
It's still very
talking.
early.
Let
It's still very
the
early. But
table
we're
do
going to
the
move on
talking.
to a next topic. We're going to move on to a next topic, yeah? This is the Heated Debate Show. People, make sure you like and subscribe. Also,
Like and subscribe, guys.
Listen. Listen.
Like and subscribe, guys. You know, we're taking over, man. It's me and my brother, not side, man. Shout out to everyone that came to the show now.
Mix. Hit
Big
the
ups to you
like
guys.
and subscribe.
Hit the
And
like
don't
buttons,
subscribe
guys.
to
Support
Tony
us.
Claude Gunner TV. Make sure you go subscribe. The link is in the title of the video. Make sure you go and subscribe to my brother. We're doing it every week, the Heated Debate Show. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Fuad's gone hiding. It is what
it is.
So now Tony has to step up. Fuad's gone hiding. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Fuad is our guy anyway. Fuad is our guy. You know,
Fuad, bro, that B-Tech flipping DJ Khaled with his B-Tech flipping Beats headphones, bro. He don't want to turn up. That's because I put the don't want it with me, bro. I'll cook it. Gallas claims Real Madrid target could be confused and consider Arsenal exit. Obviously, Martinelli. Let's go to his quotes. He was quoted to say, I think Arsenal have to get that deal with Martinelli signed as quickly as possible. I'm sure he's hearing so many things about him, like Real Madrid being interested. Sometimes the player can be confused. At the moment, I think he's playing well, and Arsenal have to close that deal as soon as possible so he feels better in his mind. I don't think he's good enough for Real Madrid yet. In football, 2 or 3 games, everyone is raving about the player. He's magnificent or he's top class player. But no, calm down. Let him have a great season to get to another level. He's still young. He's only 21. But if he goes step by step, he can go to a club like Real Madrid. But right now, he's not ready. I'm going to go to you first, bro. What do you make of Gallas's opinion and comments about Martinelli and Real Madrid's interest in
him? If Gallas was the one talking, I wouldn't disrespect your subscribers to open my mouth and talk about Gallas. He's a disgrace and he disgraced this football club. So I wouldn't even talk about him. But this is what I will talk about. I will talk about Martinelli as a person. Not side. This is the reason why I'm blaming Edu. I'm not Arteta. We need these guys to sign their contract. Now, check out all the whole guys that have lingering problems with their contracts. You know, let's give your subscribers this knowledge for now. Saka has been playing this season, listen, with his contract drama lingering on his head. Mind you, these are youth, these are young guys, you know. They're just young dudes. And mind you, when it comes to money, young guys are very emotional. These are not grown men like me and you that can actually think straight. We think straight because we have bills to pay. We have to pay bills. We have to pay electricity bills. And we have to do hard work or labor or anything to go get this money. These guys don't think about that. What they think about when they play in training, what do you think these guys talk about? They talk about, I got more money than you. I got more pay than you. That's what these guys are talking about. So, in other words, imagine Saka has his contract lingering out there. Martinelli has his contract lingering out there. Saliba has his contract lingering out there. And Edu hasn't signed up anyone, hasn't given these guys contracts, haven't opened meetings with these guys. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is it Mikel Arteta to give these guys contract? Is that what anyone will come tell me right now? That's Mikel Arteta's job to do that. It's Edu's job. So you know what? I want those contracts to be signed immediately, quickly. Give these guys the amount of money they want. See, I heard that Chelsea, this is where the storm is coming, not side. And listen to it very, very well. The storm is coming with Chelsea Football Club. I heard that Todd Bowley has been sneaking in and about and, trying to talk, to his board about giving Arsenal a huge offer that they cannot refuse. And I'm talking about something in the tune of $100 million for Bukayo Saka. That's what I heard this morning. And that's from deep places in the Chelsea hub that I got this information now that I'm telling you. Like, I got it directly from a source. I can't back that up because, of course, I don't want to get into any problems. But this is what the board are really talking about right now. So, in other words, give Saka whatever he wants. If that guy wants 250 right now, we have to be giving him that contract. Martinelli, the same thing. Give this guy the goddamn 200. Give him that 200. If we could be able to give Mesut Ozil over 300, then why can't these guys get 150, 190? Ozil sat on the bench, did nothing, and we dashed that money to these guys. Why can't we do this? Why can't Edu do this? So we need this contract lingering with all these players to be done as soon as possible. Martinelli, Saka, Saliba, non-negotiables. We don't need any negotiations with this. They are non-negotiables. We need to get it on and get those deals done and dusted. That's all I would say.
Listen, I agree with you. We have to get it done. At the end of the day, this is a youth project. Most of our best players are the youngsters. They're the future of this project. And this should have been done a while ago. Martinelli, I want signed up. Saliba, I want signed up. Saka, I want signed up. These players are great. They got very high ceilings. And at the end of the day, I don't think he's ready for Real Madrid, but I think Martinelli has the potential to be world-class. Saliba has the potential to be world-class. Saka has the potential to be world-class. That doesn't mean they're not very good players right now. I think nowadays, so many people are so caught up in it. If you don't call a player world-class, it's like you're trashing them. No. But some players get called world-class before their time. They're not world-class yet, but they're getting up there. And they definitely, and I've seen enough about them to see that they have the potential to be there. And we have to sign them up. We keep seeing every year, yeah, Saka, Martinelli are the prime two. The bigger teams are looking at them. Liverpool, Man City, they're looking at them. They're hovering around. They're looking at them. We have to tie them down. This is another promise that they made us, that contracts will not run down to the last year. So you sign them. There is no option.
I blame
selling them. Yeah, we have to sign them up. I don't. None of this. Oh, we're going to sell them and this. They don't want to sign. Sign them up.
Sign them up.
But don't get them on stupid, ridiculous contract like we did with Ozil. Get them on decent, what they deserve. At the end of the day, let's be real. Martinelli and Saka deserve good contracts because they carry this team.
Not sorry, but I want to ask you this question. It doesn't have any malice. But I want to ask you this question. If Martinelli comes out tomorrow now in contract negotiations and tell you that, hey, Real Madrid has just offered me 300k to come and play for them, and he put it out to the Arsenal board, can you pay me 300? What do you think the board should do?
No, because if it's 300k a week, it's getting ridiculous, and I'll tell you why. Where do they go from there? They've already got the biggest contract, almost one of the biggest contracts in world football. What's the motivation? What is the next thing? Now they can just sit on their ass and say, listen, whether you play me or not saying that that is their attitude, but we saw it with Ozil. We
With
gave him
Ozil,
too much, too early. And then he had nothing. He could just say, I'm sitting on the bench. I don't care. I'm still receiving my 300K a week. It has to be reasonable, but 150, I'd say 150 to 180 is reasonable. I think it's reasonable, more than reasonable for them.
Me too.
They're still
I
getting,
think it's reasonable. Yeah, but these agents are very, very greedy, mind you. You're dealing with agents in modern football, extremely greedy people. These guys are extremely greedy. They want more and
but
more
Man
and more
United have
money.
allowed agents to run their club. And look at what's happened with Man United. Mercenaries everywhere. And now they're trying to cut that out. So there's a fine line between giving a player what they deserve and what's the current rate, but also becoming extorted for the amount of riches the club has.
The
At the end
club
of the
has,
day,
yeah.
they're 20, 21, 22. This is not the final contract. This is not the last. They're not like they're 29 and they're signing their last contract, their last big payday. They've got loads of paydays coming. So I would talk to Martinelli and Saka and say, listen, we're going to give you a very, very good contract. You guys know, you keep performing, you keep it up. Your next contract's only going to go up. This ain't your final contract. You're very young. It has to be within reason. And then I would also add performance-based bonuses. So if you score a certain level of goals, then you get a certain amount of money extra on top of your wages. Them incentives. But don't give them everything at one go because their ego and their head's gonna blow out of proportion. So I would say, just give them a decent contract.
Because personally, I'm wondering why hasn't Saka, because we've placed a lot of trust on that kid. So I'm wondering why Saka hasn't taken the contract and signed the goddamn contract. So I'm really thinking that his agent is trying to, add fuel into the whole matter and extort the club for huge sums of money. With what I'm hearing a huge a huge sum, man. So that's why I asked you that question. If Saka comes today and say, Arsenal, I want 300 per week, what are you going to do? Would you say, hey, board, don't give him 300? Hey, board, we reject it. And if they sell him, and then who do we blame? Mikel Arteta, right? No,
Well, I don't blame Mikel Arteta.
no. If they sell him now, then we blame Mikel Arteta, right? As the fall guy.
I'm not coming with your agendas and that. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. I ain't coming with your agendas. Atletico Madrid joined Arsenal in the race for Premier League star. Leonardo Trossard is being linked to Arsenal. Would you take him at Arsenal, bro?
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I want a more bigger name. I like Trossard. I like his output in games. He's that kind of proven Premier League star that can come into the club and get things running. But again, I don't want players that will come into a club, see tremendous riches, come in there to get a paycheck and rest on their laurels. I don't want that with all these average players. I don't need that again. I've seen enough of that. Just like Pepe, the same thing. Was just scoring goals here and there, in Lille, and then we brought him for big money, and now we can't even get 10 million for Pepe. I don't want that. I don't want that. So I want go for proven players, strictly proven players. Go for a Vlahovic. Go for maybe a Felix. Go for Raul. This kind of players. That's what I want. Those are the kind of players that can come into the club, and I know that okay, they want to make a name, they want to win the Ballon d'Or. I don't want players that will come, see their checks and their bank accounts fat, and just drop play. I don't want that. Arsenal should stop being a place that these players see as a way to just get their next meal ticket or get their paycheck. Every time. I want people that will come and play. Will Trossard come and play? I think he is, but I need a more bigger star, someone that can actually be your threat when defenders see him. Because someone like a Trossard, of course, is not 6 foot plus, or something like that. He's that kind of a player that defenders can actually hold their own against him. I want those kind of players that will cause lots of problems for defenders in the Premiership. Trossard doesn't have that figure, but is he a good player? Yes. Do I respect him? Yes. Would I have him in the in the January transfer window if we don't buy anyone? Yes, I would want him. But if the January market is a place where we can go in and bring in someone like Mitrovic, someone like Ivan Toney, someone like Felix per se, or someone like Vlahovic, I'll go for the rest and I won't take Trossard for me.
Some of these comments are cracking me up. No, sir,
I know.
just admit that Arteta is doing a good job and stop expecting doom. I don't understand if these men don't... Like, do I have to say it in Portuguese? Está fazer bem, caramba. Quantas vezes, filho da puta? Quantas vezes que eu tenho que dizer a mesma porcaria aqui? Like, do I need to speak in Portuguese? Do I? Because I swear I've been praising him in English. I don't understand. But man, filho da putas, when I come on here, act like I've never said nothing positive. Caramba, tô cansado.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 2, heated debate popping off. You guys know that Northside doesn't do a show more than 58 seconds, 58 minutes, 59 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, without no haste, without no problems, we've just done 1 hour, 5 minutes. That's how bad the show is, Guys,
like and subscribe, people.
Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe, It's every week. One in my channel, Tony Clark Gunner TV, and one in Northside. And today is his turn. So, just come around. Let's talk football. Let's talk our club, just like you can see. The topics never end. With me and Northside, it's always a good day with us.
With Trossard, I mean, this season he's had 10 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists. It's not bad in a Brighton.
It's not
team.
bad. This is a decent record in the Premiership.
Not bad.
Very decent record. But is he that kind of player that you think would pose fear to defenders? Is it that kind of player?
The same as when we were speaking about Joao Felix, and I was saying that there's better options. I think it's the same with Trossard. I wouldn't be outraged with Trossard because I actually think he's a baller. I think he's a very good player. But I think there's better options. I mean, a lot of times when I see players like Trossard, like Zaha, I give them a lot of benefit of the doubt because when you're looking around them, they don't have world-class players around them. They don't have an amazing team around them, and there's only so much you can criticize them. But he's doing very good in a team that they're not amazing players, but they know their roles. They play the system very well. Now with Trossard, there's wingers that I'd rather go for over Trossard. I'd rather go for Zaha. I'd rather go for Pedro Neto. There's other wingers I'd rather go for. Even that kid, Mudryk, he's been playing very well in the Champions League.
In the Champions League, yeah.
Of course, some people are going to say, oh, it's a risk, Northside. Every player's a risk. Every player's a risk.
Actually, everyone's a risk.
When Di Maria, that was a risk. When Arsenal bought Alexis Sanchez, that was a risk. When Chelsea bought Shevchenko, that was a risk.
But that was a risk that paid off. And he had star power in Barcelona.
When Chelsea bought Fernando Torres, that was a risk. Every player is a risk. Yeah. Obviously, there are players that are worth a risk and players that are not. Now, he's only valued about 25 million euros on Transfermarkt. Not going to break the bank. We do need to buy various players of various positions. I still think that we should be spending more. I'm with the mentality that you improve your team by buying players that are better than your starting 11. That is how your team progresses.
See, Northside. That's actually half of our transfer budget for that player for January. Because I heard that Arsenal just only have about $50 million for that transfer window in January. So who do you think we're going to go get? And most of the moves that might come in that January might be loan moves. So we don't know yet,
Okay, but I'll tell you this.
And that's what the board is bringing out. We have these problems,
But it's not good enough, and I'll tell you why.
It's not good enough. It's the board.
We're going to find ourselves in this position once again, because once again, for everyone in the chat that's getting triggered, all the manikas, all the bishas in the not all of you lot, because a lot of you are real ones, and I know which one. Arsenal Manic, Spursy, Mikel, all of you lot. I know which ones are always on the channel. Yeah, you lot already know which ones I'm talking about, which ones I'm not. Yeah, but the ones that are getting triggered, when are we going to find ourselves in this position again? You have to capitalize while the going is good. We are in a very good position, and I've not said that we're not. We are playing well. We're not right. The last 2 games are not playing well, but we're getting the results. We are finding ourselves in a very good position. Give him extra money. Reward me.
Give him extra money.
200 to 250. Here you go. You overperformed. We really have a chance of going for a league title challenge. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. We're going to give you everything. So at the end of the season, you can't look at us and say, oh, they didn't back me. They didn't.
It's all we asked for. It's all we asked for.
Manager. That's all I want to see, bro. Because I might not rate this manager, but one thing I can say, this squad ain't good enough. And the club, they need to show Mikel Arteta what their intention is. Is the intention at Arsenal that we get top 4 and it's good enough, like we did under Arsene Wenger the last couple of years? Or, no, whoever's the manager at Arsenal, whoever plays for Arsenal, the expectation is to win the league. And as owners, we're going to do everything to support that. And now that we find ourselves ahead of schedule, remember, they said that we're ahead of schedule right now. They're not expecting to be in a title race. Give him what he needs because we got the money.
Give him.
We've got the money, man. You're saying Arsenal don't have 250 mil in the back that we can use. Of course we can. We spend money. The owners, if you love this...
I heard we just only want to spend $50 million.
The owners haven't taken no money out of their own account. So if you love this manager and you love this process and you love these players, help them out. Because I'll tell you what, as much as I criticize, the youngsters were left out to dry, bro. They were left out to dry. When they needed the last push after January, the youngsters they did their bit, getting us in the top 4 race. True. Who did we bring in to help them? Who did we?
Arsenal Manik said in the chat there, in 912. Check out that comment in 912.
Let me scroll down. What's Arsenal Manik saying? Flipping out.
912 p.m.
I doubt they're going to give him 200 mil in Jan. Do you think they will?
Arsenal Manik, are you living in cuckoo land? Do you think that board will bring 200 million pounds and give to this manager? Arsenal Manik, enough respect to you, bruv. Man, wake up from that dream, brother. That board won't give Mikel Arteta. See, these guys need to support this guy. They need to, but they won't. I heard the budget is even less than 45 million pounds. That's what I heard, but I might be wrong, but nothing close to 200. Can you go to KY's comment in 907? KY's
Whose comment?
KY in 907. Time 907, KY. 9:07 p.m. That's when he made that statement. No, I think you have to go up. Yeah. He said Trossard is a winger, not a striker. We can get him along with Tony, Mitrovic, and Felix. See, KY, in modern football, these guys play several positions. That's the kind of player we need. We don't need a player that just only wants to play a position. In modern football, as a player, you need to understand how to play as a wide forward, as a supporting striker, and as the main striker. That's what we need, so that when one striker gets injured, the other player can come in as a backup. That's what we need. It's just what we need.
Tony, let me ask you a question. If you got a player that can play multiple positions, but every position that he plays, he's a 5 out of 10, is that a good player? Because he's versatile.
No.
And this is the thing with versatility. People want versatility, but how good are they playing multiple positions?
Multiple positions, yeah.
I'd rather a player that gives me 8, 9, 10 out of 10 in one position than a player that can give me 5 out of 10, but he can play multiple positions.
But what happens when he gets injured? When he gets injured?
We go out there and we actually build a squad, not just a starting 11, a squad that can rotate. That's what you do. At the end of the day, injuries happen to all teams. You're never going to be having enough. You can't have 4 players for each position in a squad. You can't. Yeah. So sometimes it's just not going to go your way. Let's be real. But at the same time, I don't want players that are versatile, but they're average at every position that they fill in. I want players that are specialists. and get one specialist. Get not only one specialist, get two. If you can get three, get three. But it's hard because obviously players want time, and a club like Arsenal, we're in multiple multiple competitions, so there's a lot of game time to go around. But at least get two. This thing about versatility, this season, I keep seeing the same bucaria about versatility. Bro, I've seen versatile players at Arsenal, and they're not being great in any position. I don't care about versatility, because versatility, I'll tell you what, the more we give excuses about versatility.
But again, would you say Ben White hasn't been good this season? Not so.
Yeah, but we got versatility now.
Would you say he hasn't been good this season?
Bro, you can have versatility. One player can only play one position at a time. So at the end of the day, you can have versatility, but they can only play one position. And ultimately, you're giving the club an excuse to not strengthen the squad, because they will say, wait, hold on, the fans are saying that this player and that player are versatile, so they can fill in. Okay, they fill in, but then they make a space, they leave a space to the position that they're filling in. So ultimately, it's not good enough. We need to build a squad. We need a squad that we have players that rotate, that are as good, if not better.
True. I totally agree.
I'm not with all of this rotation. No, go out and build us a squad and a team, bro. Because when you look at Bayern Munich, when you look at Real Madrid, Barcelona are now trying it now, even with the deficiencies. When you look at Liverpool, the one thing everyone's always slandered Liverpool about is they don't have the rotation, not the versatility, the rotation that Man City have. That's why. That's a big reason.
But mind you, at the time last season, during Manchester City's title push last season, there was a time that almost all their central defenders were injured, and they had to, bring in players from midfield to actually fix them in centre back last season. It happened, and that's why you need people that can be able to multitask. And have diverse skills in multiple positions. In the team. I understand where you're coming from. We do need competition, because competition brings that winning mentality. We really do need that. But mind you, again, someone brought up something here, and they talked about FFP should investigate Arsenal. My brother, Arsenal already has a FFP warning already. Actually, as we speak right now, we have an FFP warning. So, bro, man, let's pray for the club, man. Let's pray for the club.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Didn't you say the other day we need 10 players? How much is that going to cost, in your opinion? Listen, I think if we go get Ivan Toney, if we go and get Pedro Neto, if we go and get Madison,
we're forgetting a central defender. Because Gabriel Magalhaes is a waiting time bomb. Anything can happen with him.
Get Paulinho. We need at least 250. I mean, I'm just saying about getting about 4 to 5 players. Get Paulinho. Yeah. Fulham bought Paulinho for about, 20, 25 million? If we go in there, give them 30, 35 million, they'll probably take it. 40 million, well, they'll probably take it. The player's head will definitely turn. We're a bigger club. Yeah. Then you get Ivan Toney. That's another 40 million, I'd say. That's 80 million. Then you go and get Pedro Neto. That's another 40 million. So what's that? 120. Yeah. 120. Yeah. Yeah. Pedro Neto. I mean, he's a good player, but
he's a decent player. He's decent. He's a decent one.
I'd say
at least he's someone that wants to commit himself to a club, like he's shown in at Wolves. He wants to play. He's not that kind of player that's looking for a paycheck. He wants to come play.
There you go. That's 3 players. That's 3 players, 120. Then you go and get, who else do we need? Madison, if you want to get Madison and Tielemans.
But why can't Arsenal go get an open cano from Bayern Munich? Why can't we go get an open cano? We can do it. Go and give that guy 250k. He would leave that club and come play for us. We need a centre back, a new one that will come and stabilize that defense. We already have a Saliba, and right now Saliba we're thinking, oh, Gabriel Magalhaes is our most experienced defender, and he's making this kind of mistakes. I'll order for my contract talk right now. That kind of a thing. We need Gabriel Magalhaes is a good defender. There are times that you can have 1 or 2 down tools time. I really get that. But bro, Many teams are now starting to, target that fella, and we do need competition, competition, competition. That's the most important thing. He's not a bad player. What he needs is competition. And Edu hasn't provided that competition. The only person competing for that position with him is Holding. So why won't he act up when we have Holding there? Because there's no push. So Edu and the board are the problems. If they can be able to reshuffle their thinking, get their thinking hats on, and bring in a central defender like an open Kano, bring him to the club, go pay him 250. If we can spend all this big money on Pepe and all these filthy players, we can at least go and get open Kano with that kind of money. Bring him to that club, let him play, because sincerely I wonder what's going to happen when Saliba gets injured.
You know what? I want to say this. We've seen, and we've seen it before with other clubs. This season, the players that hit the ground running, Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, of all the players that we bought, shows you something. When you buy from the league that you're in, it's a lot easier for players to adapt very fast. And in January, let's say in January we're still top of the league, we need players that are not going to have the adaptation period that Lokonga is having, that Fabio Vieira is having. Let's go and get Pedro Neto that knows this league. Let's go get Ivan Toney that knows this league. Let's go get Mitrovic. I know Mitrovic spend more time in the Championship.
I agree.
He's on fire.
I agree.
These players are ready to compete now. So in January, I don't want to see players from abroad unless they're top level players. If they're youth players, I don't want to see them in January because the chances are they're going to need an adaptation period like Vieira, like Tavares, like players like that. So I want to see players coming in, that are like Zaha. I would take Zaha. I'd take him. Even if we get back Pepe, if we can't buy, both wingers, get Pepe and bring back Pepe and get Zaha. We look a lot stronger in terms of rotation. I don't care what no one says. We do. We do, because I told you what, Pepe's better than Reece Nelson and he's better than Marquinhos right now. He is. It's not even a debate. He is better than them. And we need rotation. So that's what I would want to see. Arsenal Manic says, this is where Edu's let us fans down. Should have got all this done. Sorry, someone else said a comment I wanted to bring up. Top priorities are who's behind Partey, Jesus. Then you can look elsewhere, wing, centre-back, and other positions. We need 5+ players this Jan. Pedro Neto, Madison, Tielemans are good. Big up Gracie in the chat. Big up to you, Familia.
Big up Gracie.
We do have 2 more headlines to get into. Let's put this down. Their Arsenal midfielder admits he thought of leaving this summer. At the end of last season, I almost snapped. Lokonga said, I called my agent to ask him if staying at Arsenal was a good idea. He comforted me in my choice, even though I know I needed to start more often to develop. He decided to stay another year, Lokonga. What do you make of his comments?
You see, Lokonga, when he came out and made that statement, I was very, very shocked. Like, why would this young kid who just came to Arsenal Football Club, have the effrontery and and the guts to make that kind of, those kind of remarks? I really find those remarks insulting to the stature and to the figure of Arsenal Football Club. And again, if he was that kind of player that was really, giving us a very, very huge output, was, bringing much to the team, then I would say, okay, you making those statements, we'll think about it. But this season, he hasn't actually given us anything. See, I do believe he has a lot of potential. Let's don't get it wrong there. He has a lot of potential, but he hasn't shone for us this season or even last season. He hasn't done enough to have the cojones to actually talk like that. So, for him coming out and making those statements, you need to face your football, Lokonga. just try work hard and try to cause headaches for the head coach, so that next week when you're looking at the bench and looking at where you are, you would say, no, this is not where I want to be. I want to be at the starting 11. That should be your concern rather than thinking about clubs you want to go to. But again, young players need to play. So what have you done with your playing time in the Europa League, where you started more often this season? He's not really, coming to impress and cause headache for the coach. So he needs to focus more on his football. That's all I would say to Lokonga. Focus on your football and try and give the manager headaches, so that when he looks at you, he say, okay, I really need to start playing him. But right now, with the way he's playing, I don't think he should be making those type of statements. You might have a different idea, brother.
This is the debate show, but I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you. I agree. He's not done. I think you're correct. I mean, a lot of fans want to protect players, but players need to give us something to protect. And
Exactly.
he's not giving us the performances. We can't just protect blindly. And
Yeah.
I understand. It's good to see that he's not happy just to sit on the bench, like Rob Holding said in the All for Nothing documentary. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah.
I am happy. I can give him praise on that. He wants to play. He wants to be involved. He wants to develop. Yes, I can give you praise. But at the end of the day, if the manager's giving you minutes, and especially when Partey and was injured, you're getting minutes, and you're not taking it by the scruff of the neck. It's on merit. You need to earn, your right to play at Arsenal. And if you don't, then ultimately we can't stop somebody else that is putting, the performances in and is
The
giving
performances, yeah.
So I understand him to an extent, but it's not like he's playing really well and not playing. I think the only player in this squad that's actually played very well and yet is in and out of the team is Tierney. I think Tierney's played very well. But there's some games he's dropped and some games he's not. And I don't really understand, because I don't feel like his performances has jumped off of a cliff. I don't think so.
No, at all. He's just there.
You know?
But again, he's a good foil to a player like Zinchenko. He's a very, very good. See, and that's the type of competition that I want to see at Arsenal. Because right now he has that competition going on with Zinchenko, who actually brings a lot for Arsenal Football Club in that position. With that kind of like for like kind of effective kind of competition going on between the two, it can only make one of them at least try to play to please the manager, and that's what I want. At least across the pitch, with all of our players we have in that starting 11. So let's see what's gonna happen. But for Lokonga to come out and talk like that, man, bro, you need to focus on your football, man. Focus on your football. You're a great player,
Manic,
but
you're right.
focus on your football.
Arsenal Manic, you're right. Every time he plays in midfield, we get dominated. Also, do you recall his match stats, Northside? 0 tackles. There you go.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I mean, come on, man. Like, this is not a charity. This is a football club. This is not, me right now, me and Tony can get our boots on. We can't just go play for Arsenal right now. This is not a charity. It's on merit.
It's true. It's on merit. It's true. Sometimes you need to just call a spade, he's not that kind of. If it was a Martinelli that was talking now, because Martinelli have actually put out performances this season that will confuse us at any point in time, then we can be able to say, oh, okay, it's true. Okay, it's not true. At least we can debate that. But if it's Lokonga, we know he's the guy that has that potential. He's a good player, but is he good enough right now? That's up for the jury. But we do know he's not putting up performances that could actually give the coach any headache at all. So why making those type of statements? And it's not like he hasn't played this season. He has played, but he hasn't put in performances like the performance in Bodo Glemet. Yeah. I don't even want to say anything. We all know what happened there.
Do you think Arsenal should try and get Locatelli in January and maybe a backup striker like Gonzalo Higuain. I definitely don't want Gonzalo Higuain, and I don't want Locatelli because he's having a horrendous time at Juventus.
Gonzalo Higuain will not be coming to any club. Actually, he just played his last game in the US in the MLS League. So, and that was just, I think that was on Sunday or so. So I don't really think he's going to play for any. He's retired actually, so he's not coming to any league. So let's get that dream out of out of the picture. Locatelli, yes, mind you, we were in the transfer window for him before, but I don't know if Juventus will be willing to let him go for a cheap price. And secondly, the thing with all these Italian players is that they don't really like the English league. The only reason why they use the English league is just to prop up, their profile in the transfer market. And then when a bigger club comes in from Spain or from another Italian club, they just go there. They don't really like coming to England per se. So let's be very careful about those links. It might just be a link that their agent are using to actually get him a move in Italy or in Spain. So let's just be careful. But for me, I'll take a look at Locatelli if he wants to come. Give him the money he wants and let him come to the club. At least those are the kind of players that can help us.
There you go. And the last one, Zinchenko and Martinelli missed training before tomorrow that we're going to face PSV. Arteta has gone on to say that unfortunately the Brazilian winger is only thought to be feeling a little under the weather. And Arteta says both players are in contention to be part of the matchday squad against PSV on Thursday, which is tomorrow. What do you make of this, bro? What do you make of this?
Bro, it's injuries galore. It's starting to set in into the team. It's creeping in. Zinchenko, and that's why I really want us to be very, very careful in the transfer window. Even Zinchenko wasn't really having that starting berth when he was in Manchester City. So we cannot really extremely assess his injury record at all. We don't have those records because he wasn't really a starter in Manchester City. Now, coming down here, of course, he's a great player. Of course, we know what he brings to the table. When he plays, we see how he releases Granit Xhaka to just go up front and do his thing. We see how he comes back to defend, and we see the partnership he has down there at the middle with Thomas Partey. Both of them, when every other player have gone offensive, we can kind of see the balance. And even up front, we've seen what he gives to us, up front and defensively. He's a good player. But his injury record is now brought to question. And these records were not really there because he wasn't really a starter in Manchester City. That's why I really want us to be very careful when we're, dipping into that transfer window by January. We need players that we understand their injury record. We don't want players that will come and get injured. We don't want players that will come and just rest on their laurels when they get to Arsenal just to get a paycheck. So that's the problem. But let's see what's going to happen. And again, I don't want us playing Martinelli in this match against PSV. Let the guy rest. Let's rotate. At least bring in McQuinness. Let's see what he can do. Because, I don't want us to kind of distort our Premiership title charge. Let's just take it easy. Give these players a few rest, and let Martinelli rest. Let him just chill at home. At least Saka, who for some reason always likes playing, can handle that. We also have McQuinness. At least let's see what he can do against PSV. Because we're going to tire this young kids, and mind you, we're going to a very, very hostile place in St. Mary's by the weekend. So we need all our ammunition locked in and ready to face that. To face that big tax at St. Mary's. It's a deadly place for Arsenal to go to in recent seasons. I know you know more about that north side.
No, listen, I agree with you about Marquinhos as well. I want to see more of the kid. I want to see him playing in cup competitions, especially with the Europa, especially in the early stages. Of course, when we get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, I understand him not being in the team. but we still got, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I want to see him more involved. If I'm being completely honest with you, I want to see him more involved in the squad. I want to see rotation. I want to see us managing this squad
True.
better than we did last season, because, like you said, last season we did see Martinelli and Saka burn out. And it's because they were playing every game. And this manager needs to learn from that. You can't just keep repeating the same thing, especially when you're letting go of players that could rotate like Pepe. You need to learn from last season. And we burnt out a lot of the youngsters. And we need to, manage their time. So I completely agree with you. Now,
we have to not side. I have 2 points to lay out to you, because we just finished talking about this guy, about Lokonga. Now, Lokonga, this is where you have to make your voice heard. Go and do it against PSV. Show us why the manager should keep you in that midfield. It's as simple as that. Go into that match and give us a reason to understand and feel your pain when we're seeing your stories in top dailies in the UK. Let's see what you can do. Go in to the PSV match and turn the head of Mikel Arteta. Make him want you. Give him legitimate headache. You can do that tomorrow for us. So go in there and do that job. That's all I'll say about him. And now go to Pepe, because you still brought in this Pepe remark. And see, if Pepe is not good enough in Nice, I'm sorry, he's not good enough for Arsenal. Let's just leave it in that way. It proves that the manager is right in his evaluation. If he's not putting up good numbers in Nice this season, why is he good enough to play for Arsenal? I don't want these players that are not good enough, or that they can, from the previous regime, that cannot give us anything different in the Arsenal team. And that's why I like how Mikel Arteta is building his team. He has shipped off all these guys, all these lackluster guys, shipped them all off, and let's get new players. So the board, do you want to help Mikel Arteta win the title? It's over to you guys. Bring in players, support this manager, and let him go win you the title. If you don't do it, he won't win the title. But if you do it, dip your hand into that January transfer window and get in players who can literally hand us the title, at least by January. I'm serious. Because this team is ready to blow. We just need 3 signings: a centre back, a wide forward, and 1 striker. And maybe a midfielder. We need at least a backup for Thomas Partey. Yes. 4 players. That's all we need. 120 million. What Northside have said already. 120 million or 150 would just complete this team. So, Arsenal board, do you have the balls? Do you have the cojones to go in the transfer market in January, put up 200 million or 150 million, and bring us 4 players that will win us the league? The gauntlet has been dropped. In January, Arsenal, do you want to win the league? The board, you have to answer that question.
And lastly, bro, this has been the best start to a Premier League season by Arsenal. At the end of the day, I think it's obvious, more than obvious, regardless of where you stand with this club, everyone is happy. Everybody is happy where we're at right now. May not be happy about everything about surrounding Arsenal, but you can definitely be happy that we're top of the league still. And Liverpool did us a favour by beating Man City. The biggest question is, can we sustain this run?
Not side. I will reiterate what I've just said. Yes, we can. I really do believe we can, because Mikel Arteta is trying to push these players and is pushing them to their limits. But there's only a limit it can actually get to. That's why we need to go into the transfer window and get deals done for Arsenal. With that, only with that can we be able to win this title. But not with this good run Mikel Arteta has managed to milk out of these players right now. If the board decide not to give this guy money and go into that January transfer window and bring in the players that we want, a central defender, a CDM to back up Thomas Partey, a wide forward, and 1 striker, we'll lose this momentum. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. Because if he's bringing out the best in these players, of which me and you see eye to eye, in that they are not perfect and we don't have a large enough squad to actually go at it, bro, then that's a problem. So the board needs to put up cash for these players. That's what I feel. Invest in your club. The club also needs to, the club and Edu needs to believe in the manager also. Show us your cojones. The- the- It's as simple as that. Show us your ambition. This is it. Show
I
us
have
your
nothing to
ambition.
add to that. I completely agree. I completely agree. I have nothing to add to that. And listen, people, make sure you like and subscribe. Most importantly, make sure you go like and subscribe to Tony Claude Gunner TV. I got it right now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Make sure you hit the link in the description of the channel. And yeah, we'll be doing this show regularly. One
of
week on
course.
this channel, then the next week on Tony's channel, and continue like that. So make sure you subscribe to Tony Claude Gunner TV's channel so that you can also be and hit the bell notification so you are notified every time we do the heated debate show on his channel as well as mine. Have you got anything coming up, bro?
Yeah, see ya, guys, subscribers down there. Thanks for making this show. Like, as you can see, the whole charts are popping off, bro. Thanks for the support, we've had in this show, in Northside's channel, man. You guys, big up to you guys. You guys take the cake, because without you guys, Northside won't be where it is, and we really do need you guys to really come and support us as we're doing this. We have other things we're doing, but this is our passion. This is what we do. Come out and support us. Come out and support this show. It's something huge, as you can see. Of course, I had this show with him. Next week we'll be having a return match in on my turf this time. Next week, on Wednesday, Northside will be live and direct in Tony Club Gunner TV. So just make sure you try and subscribe to my channel. And also, some of my subscribers, as I've seen, some of them too, they're already here. Amy Baba and the rest. John Redchart is already here. He's my, loyal fan. He was already here too. So, guys, just, subscribe, support us. On Thursday, I'll be having a familiar face who used to be here, always used to be here, Deji Spores, on Thursday. He'll be coming to my show to mount off about Tottenham Hotspurs. So, just come around and come check him out. And on Friday, I'm hoping to do a preview show where I'll be having some Scousers in the house. I'm looking on bringing in, serious Liverpool fans, Newcastle fans, because whether we like it or not, Newcastle are in the conversation this season. Not side. I hope you're keen into that. Newcastle, the threat they pose this season, they're coming. So, and bring in one or two Arsenal gooners who will come and make an argument and lay their case on Friday. So just join us. And I'll also be at on Monday's channel at the Man United Agenda. Also catch me on Chelsea Dan's channel also, and CFC OG's channel also. I do a lot of stuff, but just, try subscribe to my channel, Tony Club Gunner TV, and, get the likes up for this channel and, subscribe. Big ups to you guys, man. Love you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks.
Nah, big up the familia, man. Big up to you as well, man. Listen, big up to all my subscribers, man. At the end of the day, like it is true. Without you guys, there is no channel, there's no community, there's nothing.
True.
Whether you agree with me or you don't, obviously some people take it a bit too far, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. When I come offline, bro, do you think I don't care, bro? I just say how I feel in my heart, and I know that I keep it consistent, and I know that what I'm saying is the truth into how I feel. Do you know what I mean? And it is what it is. There's no point being liked for being fake. Might as well be liked for being you. And if that's not as many people that would like me if I was to come on here and say some stuff that I don't believe in, then so be it. But listen, the chat, man, Arsenal Manic, BX Gunner, there's loads of you that are always in the chat. Loads of you. I can't name everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Arsenal Manic, Fear of Black London. You guys take the cake. You guys are the best. Lone Wolf Emperor, God bless you, my brother. God bless you. Lone Wolf Emperor, you're a great guy. Seeing you in the chat. There's another guy called KY Johannes DWTT Prince Fuad. Big time guys. Colin Young. You guys, please keep supporting this channel, man. Without you, Northside, can deliver. So we just need you guys to always come to the channel and smash that like button. BX Gunner 81, big ups to you. Power Puncher Bros, big up to you. All you guys that came to support this show. Active Gunner, God bless you, my brother. All you guys, God bless you. The ones that just want to make it hard for us, I'm sorry for you guys. We just keep going up. Gracie May, big ups to you, Gracie May. We love you, yeah?
Big
Thanks.
up, Gracie,
Active
man.
Gunner. Thank you. Dre, God bless you, my brother. Please keep gracing the show. Jamie Green, Active Gunner. All you guys, God bless you guys,
Nah, big up to all of you lot, man. Big up to all of you lot. And like I said, sometimes I don't say it enough. A lot of times, obviously, right now, I'm going to have some dinner. I haven't had dinner yet.
Chicken.
We come back straight from work and we're putting content out. So make sure you like and subscribe, man. A lot goes into making a channel, making a thumbnail clickable, making a title, researching what's going on, thinking about, how you feel about it, trying to
how you deliver, how you even deliver
trying
it.
to get guests on. You know what I mean? A lot of people, when I thought, it's easy to make a channel. It's easy until you do it. There was someone in the comments. I was like, this channel's dead, bro. I'm like, bro, you make a channel. I bet you won't get 100 subscribers.
I saw someone, AFC, he was just abusing, I don't know, man. Bro, take it easy, man.
Tony, the funny thing is, people like that, people like that are some old-hearted haters, They will never, ever set their own thing up. Because the guy wasn't even commenting with his own picture. So he ain't got his own channel. It's like, if you can do it better than me, do it then, innit? Do it. Do it. Let me see. I want to see you spend time making a thumbnail, getting guests on, seeing people. Sometimes you really want to come on the channel, not read your messages, not want to come on, not want to collab. Already have an opinion of you because you want better for your club. Trying to research what's going on, taking time out that I can be spending with family right now, doing all these lives, trying to be consistent. It's a lot. It is a lot.
It takes a lot.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
It ain't easy, bro.
You know what I mean?
Caramba. Please, caramba, people.
You know what I mean? So make sure, people, on that bombshell, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Also, like and subscribe to Tony Claude Gunner TV. Make sure you go support him as well. Like I said, it's this Heat Debate show, 1 week on this channel, 1 week on Tony, and we keep rotating like that. Tony, bro, big up for coming on. And
big ups, bro.
Listen, you have to be on the show because Fuad is running right now. You know what I mean? Right now, he's running. He's got pigeon chest. So,
Prince Fuad has really been busy, but I've seen him on some shows with you last week and this week, I think, or so.
Bro, this guy only wants to appear when the going is good. Right now, it's good, so he's turning up. As soon as the train crashes, trust me. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I got things to do. I'm with the family. Oh, now you're busy, yeah? Filo da puta. All the stress I've had to put up with him, bro. You know what I mean?
Not side. The enemies I've already made in the space of 3 months. Just because I've said Arsenal will challenge for the title. They are just waiting for Arsenal to lose, and they're coming for my head. They will put money on my head to find me where I am, dead or alive. They're waiting. They're just waiting for Arsenal to lose. So, sometimes you just have to take those shots,
Bro, like Game of Thrones, the White Walkers are coming. They're coming.
They're coming, And as my brother Northside will say, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Listen, on that bombshell, we're out, caramba. We're out. Love.